Hello, I'm Jeff Gold, and welcome to this very special Maverick Minute. Today, I'm speaking to Secretary Chuck Hagel, and we're both sitting in the Connecticut studios. Secretary Hagel, thanks so much for joining us today. I wonder, there are a lot of things we could talk about around the investiture of becoming officially the Chancellor at UNO, but I remember I called you personally and asked you if you'd do it, and you didn't hesitate for a minute and to become our keynote speaker. So I wonder if you could just tell our audience, particularly our students, why you're so willing to do that. And by the way, it's so great to have you here.
Well, it's your captivating, charming personality, Dr. Gold. That aside, first I was flattered when you called because I'm a UNO graduate.
Yep.
And that time at UNO really was very meaningful for me. And my brother Tom, who was here at the same time, we both graduated.
Yep.
And it really influenced our lives. And I've always tried to participate in UNO activities during the time I was in the Senate and Secretary of Defense, and then the time that I've been out. So to have you personally ask me to come back and give the keynote speech was a real honor for me. So I'm really delighted to do it.
Well, we're so glad that you did. And the investiture, to me, is a big deal, but it's not a big deal personally. It's a big deal because it's a celebratory event, the turning of a page for the university. The concept of investing, of putting on the garments of leadership, as it comes from in the ancient Latin, is very old. But it's now applied in higher education, in the academy at least, to the beginning of a transition. And I know you've thought a lot about higher education. You did it when you were in the Senate, and I know the leadership sessions that you host when you come to campus each year are fabulous and well attended. So maybe you could just share with our audience for a minute your concepts about where do you think higher education is going? What do you think maybe, not what the challenges are, but what the opportunities are?
Well, I've always thought higher education is an evolving adaptation and adjustment to the realities of the world. At the time, technology has so overtaken so many things, certainly since World War II. But it's also about preserving the basics, education. And education is the culture of a society as much as the academics of a society. You're always trying to stay on the, it seems to me, on the cutting edge of it. I think there's no higher calling actually than a teacher, whether it's high school, junior high, grade school, or college, because you really are influencing young men and women to do great things, but also to be responsible citizens. And I think citizenship is a big part of all of this, and that's why I've always thought that UNO does a especially good job at blending all those responsibilities of citizenship, the academics, the education, what's important, trying to stay ahead of the cutting edge technologies, but not also abandoning the basics, the North Stars of education.
I think that's absolutely true, particularly given the fact that almost half of our students incoming class this year are first-generation students. So many of them may not have had the same role models that other students in other parts of the country have had. So not only having the opportunity for higher education, but being exposed to that, what I would call civic pride. Yeah. And I know you love to talk about leadership when you come to campus. And I look out at the audience when you speak, and the young women and young men are just totally inspired. And, I see the next generation, and it makes me really proud.
Well, as I said, and you said it, education is about the next generation. It's preparing them in every way, not just academically and educationally, but in every way to lead a good, successful life that contributes, and they then contribute back to society and make society better. And I think also something that we've lost a lot of the last few years, and we'll come back with it, but civility, respect for each other. I mean, certainly college campuses are forums for diverse thinking.
Absolutely,
And
it must be.
It must be, and for engagement and different thoughts. But there's a civility that goes with that. That's a responsibility that we all have, and we lost some of that in many of our areas of society today. We'll bring it back, but education helps do that, and UNO and other higher education institutions are, I think that is as big a priority for them as anything.
Well, we're all working on it every day, and thanks for everything that you have done. It's
Yes,
great
sir.
to welcome
Thanks,
you here.
Jeff.
And thank you so much for being with us on this very special Maverick Minute.